We're drafting. And tonight's focus will be Etienne. We're doing a live draft. This is a private draft. This is a draft for the Garrett Wilson jersey contest that we're giving away here. And so let me put that on screen here just so everybody understands what is going on here. So draft, this is draft number 2 of the Battle of Moon Men for the Garrett Wilson jersey. And Garrett Wilson was our focus last time. Where is Garrett Wilson going to go, etc. This time we're going to focus on Etienne. Where's Travis Etienne getting drafted? Is he going to be in the 3rd round? Is he going to be at 3.2? Is he going to be at 3.5? We're going to find out right now. Draft link will be dropped in the chat. Here we go. Draft link's right there. Boom. You want in? Spots are going quick. So click that button right this very second. The Fantasy Football Show begins now. I bet you the draft will be filled by the time this intro is done.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
What is going on, good people? You're watching the Fantasy Football Show, and we're drafting live, baby. We're doing a private draft on Underdog Fantasy. Promo code Smitty. The link was just dropped in the live stream. One more opening, and it's going to be full already. You guys are absolute monsters. Let's go ahead and it's one spot left. One spot left. If you miss out tonight, don't worry. We do this every Tuesday, Thursday. It's full. It's full. We're full. We're full. Hit that thumb up button on your way in the door. Appreciate everybody here. I work for you. You guys are absolutely amazing. And today's focus will be Travis Etienne. Etienne selected. Let's go ahead and put this on screen here. This will be the focus of the night. Etienne selected. And then we'll make this a dash line. We had Garrett Wilson go. What was it, Garrett Wilson? Who do we have last time? It wasn't Garrett Wilson. It was Mahomes. Mahomes went 2.7. So Etienne, where's Etienne going to get selected? We'll take phone calls. Let's try and focus hardcore on Etienne and his value in 2023, specifically this draft. Draft starts in 20 seconds. This is for the Garrett Wilson jersey. Not this draft only, but all of these drafts where I tell you, hey, we're drafted for the Garrett Wilson jersey in this particular draft. Every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I will drop a private link in the live stream. I'll drop a private link in the live stream. Also, I'll drop this link at the end, but I'm dropping, and this is a 30-second timer tonight. I'll be dropping a link at the end of the live stream to get on the free channel on Instagram where I drop these links a little early too. So if you want to make sure you know when I'm going live on it, how you get in the league quicker, you get subscribed to my free Smitty's Going Live drafting channel, and nobody can clog up that channel and communicate. You can only drop emojis to what I'm talking, one-way conversation with you guys, but I say, hey, I'm going live right now, and I drop the link. So if you want that link, I'll give it to you at the end. I gifted a subscription a few days ago, and I didn't notice. Thanks to whoever gifted it. Scott, I got gifted. Scott saying he got gifted. Scott is probably East Coast Tatty or Terry Roberts or Russian Collusion. So let's just thank all three of those guys because they're always gifting memberships.
To the moon.
So thank you guys, East Coast Tatty, Collusion, and Terry Roberts. And somebody else might have gifted it. If they did, please speak up. But Scott, these guys are awesome, so appreciate you. Etienne, where is he going to go in this draft? Somewhere in the 3rd round, I imagine, but where in the 3rd round? We're going to keep track of that, and once he goes, we're going to discuss it. The phone lines are open per usual. Call in if you want to discuss as we draft. Your boy Smitty's in the 8 spot. Let's go over the draft real quick. It went Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Christian McCaffrey, Tyreek Hill, Cooper Kupp, Stephon Diggs, and then Ada is on the clock here at the 7 pick, and then I'm drafting from the 8. This is a real league. It's best ball. It goes all the way through the entire season. But we're going to choose from all of the Garrett Wilson drafts this is one of them. We're choosing all the Garrett Wilson drafts, right? And the top scoring team, weeks 1 through 14, the winner will get this autographed Garrett Wilson jersey. And I'm on the clock here. Ada took Bijan. Kelsey's pretty decent here. I don't have a lot of Kelsey drafted teams. Let's go Kelsey and try it out. I'm not a big fan of going tight end in round 1, but this is good value in best ball. I think he might have 1 year left. We'll go ahead and do it. Is it too late to join the draft? Yusuf, we're in the middle of round 1, so I'm going to say yes, it is, but Yusuf, you could draft alongside of us. There's all kinds of drafts that are open right now. If you click on, 12-team, $5 leagues, 12-team, $20 leagues, you can join one at any moment, but you want to get here early. How do you get here early? Notifications, turn them on. Also, Instagram, I have a notification channel that whenever I go live, I post the link to the live stream in the channel right before I go live. So there's no excuses of not getting here early enough. I have 2 ways to get notified. One on Instagram, I'll drop it at the end of the show. And then, of course, on the subscription or the notifications turned on full blast on the YouTube channel. Oh, not to mention a third way. On my Instagram stories, whenever I go live, I put an Instagram story up. If you've got your notifications on my Instagram, you will be notified 2-3 different ways I'm going live. And there's no way you can miss it. A.J. Brown, Devontae Adams, CeeDee Lamb, Garrett Wilson. So let's recap. Jamar Chase, JJ, Christian McCaffrey, Tyreek Hill, Cooper Kupp, Stephon Diggs, Bijan Robinson. I took Travis Kelce, A.J. Brown, Devontae Adams. I don't like that Devontae Adams pick. I'm just going to tell you. I don't even know that I'd take him at 15, the second of the 2 picks. I don't trust Jimmy G at all. CeeDee Lamb, Garrett Wilson at 12, Jalen Hurts at 13. Matt's on the clock again. CeeDee Lamb and who? Who are you pairing with CeeDee Lamb, broski? Are you getting lambed?
Get lambed.
I think he is. He's getting lambed. Are you getting lambed and...
Get lambed.
Jonathan Taylor. Getting tailored. Getting lambed, getting tailored. Thank you, Yusuf. Yusuf, I'm sorry that you did miss out on it. I didn't mean to sound like cold. Like, you missed out, Yusuf. But please... get the notifications turned on both YouTube and Instagram, especially my story posts, because that's where I'm going to post it, immediately. Every time I go live, I put it on Instagram, on the stories. When you click on my little circular avatar at the top left of your Instagram. All right, so Eckler, Waddle, Mahomes, Allen, Devontae Smith, Kenneth Walker, Olave. I like going wide receiver here, but I'm going to stack this bad boy. We're going Mahomes. And we're going Kelce. And we're doing it live. Mahomes, Kelce, do it live.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
Yeah. Devontae Smith will get his, but Jimmy G still is mid. I mean, Devontae Adams, says Fitzy. I disagree. I don't trust your gut, Fitzy. But I think Devontae Adams is going to be extremely disappointing this year. I don't think he gets his. What's the appeal of pre-draft versus post-draft? Can you draft rookies not knowing their team? Yeah, I mean, that's the advantage. Gibson, think of it like this. If you believe Charbonnet is going to be better than everybody else, and the landing spot's going to make people like him, but they don't like him as much now, you're cleaning up on Charbonnet around 7-8. But like as soon as he lands somewhere good, maybe you get screwed. Maybe he lands somewhere horrible, and you're like, crap. That's the give and take of this thing, right? Okay, Jalen Waddle, 18. Josh Allen and Diggs pairing together. Look at Grandpa Dollars and your boy Smitty. Kelce, Mahomes, Diggs, Josh Allen. Whose stack is better? Vote in the chat. Who's got the better stack? Your boy, Travis Kelce, Mahomes, or Grandpa? With Josh Allen and Diggs. Breece Hall, Austin Eckler, Chris Olave, and Ron Navy TD Strikers is on the clock with JJ. Who's he pairing with Justin Jefferson? Kenneth Walker. Did you and your son have a good time at the basketball game? Scott says. Well, I don't have a son. I have a daughter. I have 2 daughters. But that's okay, Scott. But we had a great time. Suns won. It was phenomenal. That environment. I haven't been to a game in a while. I just don't have time to do anything. We went to a game. It was our first game, and it was so awesome. The atmosphere is unbelievable. They're firing out T-shirts constantly. The music's crazy loud. Definitely they've upgraded their presence there during the games. Like it's a whole event. It's a theatrical performance now. It's crazy at a game now, a Suns game. And they shot out like these, little Suns Nerf balls and T-shirts, and I jumped up and grabbed the ball. The guy next to us grabbed a shirt. I gave the ball to the kid behind me because he was devastated. The guy next to my daughter saw my daughter devastated. He gave the shirt to my daughter. Everybody's just giving the stuff to the kids. So my daughter got an awesome shirt. It was fun. It was a blast. I like my home stack, says Max. Fitz, let's see. Fitz talking about Adams again. To me, Devontae is top 3 talent at wide receiver. Not saying he'll be top 3. Well, of course, but that's the problem, though, Fitzy. Is Devontae Adams is a top 5 wide receiver trapped in a bottom 5 offense in the National Football League, passing wise. Everything you know about that offense from last year is out the window. Jacobs out the window. Adams 1,600 yards, 1,500 yards. All that's out the window. In my opinion, it's gonna be a long season. Trading Waller, none of it makes sense. None of it makes sense at all. If the Cowboys don't draft a running back, would you select Pollard in the first round? No, no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to, that's way too high. We can't force Pollard up there. Pollard's a 3rd rounder. I don't think not drafting a running back is going to vault him from the 3rd round to the 1st round. And he might creep up into the bottom of 2. And he's worth it. He's worth it. Fitz, he's a huge NBA guy, not the biggest Suns believer. Suns have a phenomenal squad, Fitzy. I mean, we have the team to beat. Durant hasn't even played with us yet. It was awkward too. Took Durant like a whole quarter and a half to like score, and then once he scored, he started doing well. It's gonna take a little while to jive, but the Suns have the most talent in the NBA. I mean, we already had that ability to win it all. You throw Durant on the roster. And the Suns have good cohesion. Like it was fun to watch. They did really, really well. Okay, Pollard is here. Speaking of the devil, Etienne. Where did Etienne go? He went 3.6. Okay, we'll put that on the board in a second. Oh boy. Let's go, Tony Pollard. Let's put our money where our mouth is. 3.6. 3.6 is where Etienne went. Denny, you're on the line. Denny, you're out of timeout.
All right. Let me turn this down. So, all right, give me a second. Yeah, I hear you guys out there in here. All right. How do you feel about freaking Monty? Monty goes over to
Oh, Denny, you're up to your old tricks again. Do I like Monty in Detroit?
No, sweet. No, I'm not up to my old tricks. I love you. I see you going off, and I'm watching you go off. How's Monty gonna do? I think he's gonna go off.
Monty's taken over for a guy that led the league in touchdowns, rushing touchdowns. So, I mean, Monty's in a pretty good spot, I'd say. But we don't know. We don't know fully. Detroit's not even. They're not even 100% probably against the idea of drafting Bijan Robinson at 18 overall, Denny. I don't think they don't have the desire. They don't have the desire, Denny, to take. I'm not saying, Denny, hear me out. I'm just saying they're not taking him at 6. But if he fell to 18, I'm saying they're not ruling it out. They're gonna probably kick it around. They probably won't go with Bijan, but when a generational talent falls to 18, they're gonna have a conversation about it. That's all I'm saying, Denny. Listen to the words coming out of my mouth.
I'm listening to you.
Yeah.
How about Mixon? How about Mixon? What's happening there? Can you please tell me what's happening, bro?
50% likely of getting cut, 50% likely of like restructuring, staying on the team, and facing heavy competition. But probably if he stays on the team, he's in a 60% advantage of having more carries than the incoming player. And Kareem Hunt could come into the situation. We don't know. Hey, this is a dilemma for me. DJ Moore or Debo? Debo's a total avoid for me in like the 3rd round, but like at this point with no wide receiver left, Patrick Mahomes, no wide receiver yet. Patrick Mahomes, Tony Pollard, Travis Kelce. It's like DJ Moore or Debo.
I gotta look at Debo,
I hate
and
taking
I've
Debo.
seen what he's done. Smitty, I've seen Debo, right? I know what they're doing.
Let me mute him real quick.
I find Debo excellent.
I got Mahomes.
I'd be all over him in a dynasty league.
Part of me wanted to go
Yeah,
DJ Moore.
I like Debo.
I don't know. I should have went with my gut. My gut says to avoid Debo. But I like DJ Moore a lot.
Smitty, you're my boy. You know you're my boy. But what's your gut say about who's gonna be the goddamn quarterback?
My gut is that they're gonna have a carousel of quarterbacks, like they always do. When your head coach Denny says,
Smitty, I love you. First of all, I find you excellent, funny guy.
Thank you.
No, so I know what you're saying, and I hate what he did.
Denny, hold that thought, okay?
What?
Hold that thought. TMT.
I'm right here.
Yeah. Hang tight. Hang tight. Hold on one second.
I'll be right there. Smitty, I'll be right there. I love you.
$20 from TMT. What's up, Smitty? Can you talk about the Dallas Cowboys defense in 2023? Adding Gilmore has to help, and they resigned a couple good players. Can they as good as the niche? Make it rain.
Whatever.
Make it rain. So do I think the Cowboys are a top 3 defense? The Cowboys are a top 3 defense. I don't care what anybody says. The Jets, the Niners, the Cowboys. You could argue the different ranking, and I'm not going to sit here and debate. The Jets 1, Jets 3, Dallas 2. You could have Dallas 1 if you wanted. I think. First of all, I got to make.
Is there somebody up in here, or can I talk?
First of all, I got to make it rain. Hold on, Denny. Just hang tight. First, I got to make it rain.
Sorry, Smith. Sorry.
The rain machine.
DJ Moore. Well, guess what? I'm taking it.
Yeah, part of me was like, why didn't I just do it? You live and you learn, Ron.
No.
Still had to
You
keep
love
talking
Paul.
about
You
him.
got Paul. Who's the guy of the Denny is a Marine, by the way. So
I don't know what Denny, hang tight. Let Ron Navy talk real quick. Hang tight. Yeah, if I could go back in time, Ron, I would swap him for DJ Moore. But you know what? I still think this team's like fire, but I don't know. I don't trust Debo. I don't. Whenever I draft him, I hate it.
You just had to keep saying his name though, over and over and over again, didn't you? Just bring him out to the focus. Just let everybody know.
I love him.
Oh, you wanted DJ Moore. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so I made sure I got Gibbs on this turnaround, just because I know you wanted him.
Just sticking it to me. Well, he probably would not have lasted to 5.8 anyway, so it's okay. I'm glad you, Ron. Unlike you with your revengeful tactic here, I'm glad if anybody's gonna have Gibbs, I want it to be you. I want it to be.
Yeah,
you,
I'm
Ron.
sure.
Now you feel good about yourself.
Sure.
I want him to be taken care of. I want someone that loves him and appreciates him to own him.
Just like I love
You what?
Dude, I'm telling you.
I don't know.
I love Ron Navy. I love the kid. He's Navy. I'm in the league, so I call him Squid.
I don't know what you're saying, Denny, but it sounds fantastic.
No, nothing but love. But I gotta call Ron Navy Squid. Being a Marine. Love Ron Navy.
There you go, Denny. Love you back.
Kid,
Jarhead.
I freaking love you.
You
All right.
jarhead.
I'm a jarhead. Yeah, I'm a jarhead. You're a Squid. And I love you, Robbie. All I'm saying is, I think sometimes I go, all right,
I don't know what he's saying.
This guy loves Paul too much.
I have no idea what he's saying.
It's a situational thing, right, Ron Squid?
Yeah. Situational.
And the other thing is, did you see how...
The other thing, did he tell us the
I
first
know
thing?
he's right there, but how Smitty loves this kid that did the backflip.
That did the backflip.
Yeah, the kid that...
Denny, let me tell you something, Denny. I'm not always right, but you know, this is my channel, Denny. And I know sometimes you can take it over, and if I like Anthony Richardson, I like Anthony Richardson. You're entitled to your opinion, Denny. You can make fun of his backflips all you want. I just think this kid, and it's just my opinion, I think this kid has a chance to bust. Maybe even call it a 15%, 20%, a high percentage chance of busting. Sure. But I still feel like there's a heavy percentage chance that this kid's going to be special if he's in the right situation. But he could certainly bust, Denny. He could certainly bust. But to not recognize at this point, no offense, but to not recognize, hold on, Denny, to not recognize the positives at least and go, you know what? I can see what people see in him. I personally think at the end of the day, it's more like 50% chance of bust, and I just don't want to go near it. But to sit here and like act like he's not accurate, to act like he can't throw the football, to act like you can't look at the film, and well, Denny, I think it's bias, Denny. I think it's a whole lot of bias going on.
Why do you think it's biased?
Because there's a lot of evidence. There's a lot of evidence in the film. Like it doesn't. I'm not saying he's a lock, Denny. But there's evidence all over the place that this guy's more than special.
I feel like you play some ball, Smitty. I feel like you could snap that ball that minute. You know what I mean?
I could spin it. I could. Didn't you see my field goals, Denny? Didn't you see my field goals? I can kick a 40-yard plus field goal.
Bro, it was the best thing I ever seen in my life. I'll cry. I love this thing. Dude, no, I love that. He can't spin it. Do you know what I mean?
He can. He can spin it, and I've seen it. Denny, do you think I don't watch anything? Do you think I literally haven't watched every single snap I can get my hands on? I study this. I absorb myself in this. I'm not saying I'm always right, Denny. I'm not saying I'm always right, but there's at least to not admit there's an argument to be made that this kid could be special. But he also has a potential to bust. I'm acknowledging that. I feel like I'm acknowledging the opposite side of liking Anthony Richardson. I'm being objective. But to literally come out and say that he's not going to be good, he can't sling the rock, you can throw a better spiral than Anthony Richardson, who just went out and enamored everybody, by the way. Enamored everybody. Enamored. I don't think you watched it.
Navy. Love Ron Navy. Well, Smitty, I'm not trying to... Dude, I know you can spin it, but you know how to throw a dot? I don't see him throwing the dot. Bro, I just don't see it.
Do the dot, Denny.
When the C goes down, no, I can see you do that. Yeah.
Do the dot, Denny. This is what Denny says the ball spirals like this when Richardson throws the ball. He thinks it looks like this lame duck. Hey, Denny, let's test self-control real quick. Hold on. Just be as quiet as you can be. Little game. Anthony Richardson could be quiet for a few seconds if he had to be. So let's see if you can beat Anthony Richardson. I heard Anthony Richardson could hold his tongue for a minute. Okay, so hold on. Here we go. Starting now. Okay. 267 caller, you're live. Area code 267. Who are we talking to first of all? What monster is this on the other line?
This is the other Smitty.
The other
show
Smitty.
from last year.
Oh, what's up, pal?
Excuse me?
We got to call you something else. We
much.
can't call you Smitty though. It's too confusing. So what are we calling you? What's your nickname? What are we gonna give you?
My name is John, but I go by Jay Smitty.
What'd you say? Your name's what? Gemma? What?
My name is John.
John. Okay, let's just go with John. It's a little easier. John S.
Yeah.
All right, John.
Hey, John.
Brother Smitty, what can I do for you, pal? And first of all, appreciate you calling in.
Yeah,
I watch I look forward to your show, like, all the time when you have it.
when I have
I'm
it.
big into fantasy football.
When I have it.
When you have a lot.
We're every day, bro.
Oh yeah.
you almost said that like it's a rare occasion. You're like, I like your show when you have it.
No.
When you have the broadcast on.
See, this is why I love Finn.
All right,
Finn's
John.
a funny bastard.
John.
I think Finn's fun.
John, I work for you, so you should know how live I am all the time. What can I do for you, John?
I mean, the only question I have is, so the Lions signed the other running back that's going to take over for Swift. So do you think Swift's value is like you can maybe still draft him as a late round steal?
Well, so we talked about this a ton. We're at 7.8 right now, right? I'm looking at the RBs. Where did Monty go? Did Monty just go? Let me see.
Yeah, Monty.
Yeah, 7.1.
Monty is
7.1.
going to be the beast over there, right? No, he's right. That's a good question.
He just went at
No,
7.
Monty is going to he's going to be a beast.
Because like the stuff that I read,
tight,
they
Denny.
say that they're just totally writing off Swift.
So you're hearing things that are probably not all that accurate. These are speculative pieces. They're not writing off Swift, but what they are doing is making it abundantly clear through interviews and such that they're really really looking to limit his usage to keep him healthy, and that's a
good.
weak.
You always want to keep you always want to keep
Trade
healthy,
Swift.
It's
healthy
a-
before going into the playoffs.
If you have Swift, trade him for anything. Yeah, Monty's coming in, all right? And if you have Swift, you definitely lose some value on him.
Okay, so hold Denny, hold on 1 second. Let's yeah, no problem. Let's hang tight real quickly. Let me answer this question. This man's question. John called in. John, this rare occasion that we're live, John wants to talk to me. So, John, I would say this. Monty's coming in and replacing a guy that just led the NFL in rushing touchdowns. He's clearly going to have a nice little role.
That's correct.
The coaching staff said we want to the words were a paraphrasing, but the words were we want to figure out a way to limit him. Limit him how? He's already been limited. So when you hear those
Right.
shocking words,
Well,
it makes you
that
feel
means, like I'm
Yeah.
thinking
Can
maybe
you let
Swift could
John
maybe
talk?
get like 10 to 14
son of
touches per
a
game.
Denny. Son of a Denny. Hold on a second, Denny. I appreciate you, but hold on. So, yeah, you hear those words. We got to figure out a way to limit him. We're going to start limiting him. Start limiting him. Almost as bad as you saying, Smitty, whenever you have a show, like when you go, we already know what they're doing. They're limiting this guy. They're limiting him already. So you're telling me they're going to limit him more? There's still upside. There's still upside for Swift. If Swift can be had in like round 7 or 8, like right now we're in round 8. Who's available at running back in round 8? Cam Akers, James Cook, Rashad White.
Not the top ones.
Swift would be perfect here. Swift would be perfect even a couple picks ahead of this. Monty's perfect. Monty's perfect even a couple, slots and maybe a round higher than that. But the thing is, Monty's not going any higher. He's not creeping up the ADP at all, bro. Swift is still getting drafted usually at the same exact spot or sometimes like a couple picks higher. That might change over time, especially if there's like some more buzz that comes out on Monty. Like Monty looks good, then Monty climbs a whole round and the Swift drops a little. But I think they both have their place on a fantasy team, bro. I think Swift could be an excellent 3-4 running back. I think Monty could be an excellent flex. And they're both going,
Yeah. It's true. Monty is, if you have Monty, keep Monty. If you don't have him, go rattle him. Because
amazing
The
take
other,
there.
we can change the player now to another guy that I'm thinking of is the big sleeper that they're another sleeper would be the guy on Pittsburgh Steelers.
Let's
George
put Denny to
Pickens.
sleep.
Smitty, don't do that to me. I don't.
Go to sleep, Denny. Denny, we need you to fall asleep. You'll be the 4th person to ever fall asleep on the show. We need you at about a 4 instead of a 9. Hold on, Denny. Okay, so the question was, I'm sorry, bro, John. John, go ahead.
So so I was asking like this. So there's another sleeper on the Steelers, George Pickens guys. They're like they're like hyping him up.
Let's let Ron Navy speak to this.
Oh, they ain't hyping him up. He's already hyped up. He's a moon man.
Sorry.
Take us to the moon.
Yeah.
He's not a hype man.
Yeah, John, I really do get the sense, and this is, John, please don't take this the wrong way. John, I can't expect you to watch every single show I do, okay? I do feel like, based on the previous comment, you don't realize how live I am and you haven't been watching for a while. So first of all, I want to say, John, we welcome you back. We're so excited to have you back into the fold. You've missed a lot, though. You've missed a lot. Let me show you the Moon Man. Denny, please remain quiet for 1 second, please. The Moon Man's gonna play a song, and you talking in the background is just gonna sound like a bunch of jargon. Okay, so hang tight. John, here are your Moon Men for 2023. You've missed a lot, John. I can tell. Here it is. Let me recap for you the breakouts for 2023 Moon Men style. Right here, go.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
Look who's already highlighted because I was talking about him last time. Pickens is a Moon Man. Gibbs, Bijan, Sean Tucker, Pollard, Charbonnet, Kenneth Walker, Christian Watson, London, Pitts. Yes, even with the quarterback situation. Flowers. We've got Satellite Men.
Satellite men. Space cadets in training.
We got Mars Men.
He's on a shuttle to Mars.
Oh, yeah.
Mars Men.
And a lot of these guys are repeats. And then on top of that, bro, on top of it all, we've got the
and spinning aimlessly in space.
We've got the Four Horsemen.
I give you the 4 horsemen. Jamar Chase, Kenneth Walker, Breece Hall, Joe Burrow, all from the 1.1 draft slot. The 4 horsemen ride 4 horses all at one time. Giddy up.
You feel a little caught up, John?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
A lot of those breakouts, I do agree with.
Yeah, John, glad to have you back, pal. Okay, let's, guys, the whole focal point, let's start off with Denny, because Denny can't help himself anyway. He wants to talk so bad, and we love Denny. Denny, Etienne went at 3.6, Denny. Tell me about the Etienne value at 3.6. And before you speak, hold on. 3.6 Etienne. Before that, before 3.6, the running backs that went most immediate would be Jonathan Taylor, Nick Chubb, and then Etienne. The wide receivers that went before are DK, Higgins, and the wide receivers that went after were London and Amari Cooper. Josh Jacobs as a running back went after. Derrick Henry went after. Tony Pollard went after.
Wow.
So tell me where Etienne. Tell me what you think of Etienne's value, Denny. Go 3.6.
Very low. Very low. I feel he's very low.
You like it then?
The way I feel about Etienne is low.
You like it then? Okay.
I like that. All right. I like. And by the way, I was the one that said that he was going to.
Denny, you fall asleep?
Oh, my bad. I'm not falling asleep.
Yeah, right. That Denny, we caught you catching a wink.
I love you, kid. No.
Yeah. You fell. We got our fourth sleeper on the phone line, ladies and gentlemen. Denny fell asleep for a millisecond. Oh, and I'm gonna time out real quick.
No, that's me. All right, fine.
Yeah, you fell asleep, bro. You fell asleep. Don't try and deny it. Oh, I'm gonna time out.
I did, Smitty, I did.
I timed out with Bateman. Steven, look what you did. Or Steven. Denny. Look, I'm associating you with Steven. I timed out on Bateman. But we got our fourth sleeper.
That's not bad. Bateman's okay.
No, I don't.
Smitty. I love these guys. No, Etienne. I don't like any of these guys being talked about. I really don't. I like, I think is going to be a badass is that kid that got hurt in the 8th. You know who's going to be a badass this year is Akers. Cam Akers. How do you feel about that, Smith?
I'm not a Cam Akers fan at all, bro. I'm not a Cam Akers fan at all.
Not with that coach.
All right. Let me throw something else at you. How about the kid that got hurt too was what the hell? Smitty, I'm like your uncle, you know, the old uncle.
Yeah, Denny, can I tell you right now, on the screen I put up, hang up on the caller if he gets 4 thumbs down. Do you know how many thumbs down you've gotten?
How many?
None.
I love these
You're
guys.
getting nothing but
people
thumbs up. No one wants me to disconnect on you at all.
I really appreciate that a lot.
Yeah.
And Smitty,
You've made it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Denny,
that I get mad.
Don't apologize for being Denny.
All right. So, who's that dude that I like a lot? Is that
I don't
running
know,
back?
Denny. You're going to have to tell me.
What I think is
Hey, Denny, while you think about it, hold on. Let me move on over to Ron.
All right, Ron, I love you. You're a squid. I'm a Marine.
good players, but he has no stack. And Cole Kmet did nothing for his team. What did Cole Kmet do for his team? He has no stacks. He's not stacking.
Did somebody snipe you? Is that what you're complaining about, Ron?
All he's trying to do is snipe
Who?
players. He's
Who?
not putting nobody together.
Dude, Cole Kmet, what's wrong with that? I love it. Why is it Cole Kmet? No one cares about Cole Kmet. Hey, you know who's a badass? Is that wide receiver from Detroit. Amon-Ra St. Brown. All right, sweetie?
Uh-huh.
All right, sweetie?
Oh, yeah.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Wow.
Yeah, we like Amon.
All right, I'll just drop it.
All right, hey, Denny, hang on. We're getting some thumbs down now. You got it's about 7 thumbs down. You gotta be careful. 3 more thumbs down, and I have to hit the disconnect. You're very, very borderline.
I love you guys. Don't come down me.
Hold on. Okay, so
What do you do for your team? Nothing.
Ron, what happened? So, Denny?
Oh, Travis. Travis is throw, but he hasn't like.
Travis
He's
is
got
making mad.
decent players like he's out to snipe, and he's not out to stack nothing. I mean, his team doesn't make much sense.
But again, I love how we always get here. Hold on, I'm looking for Travis's team. I love how we always get here though.
It's the last position.
I know, but
if you're in one of those turn positions, it's so easy to stack. And
I love this guy.
But can I just tell you that, Ron, with the 30-second timer, none of us
I
have.
love Ron.
Denny, you're close. You one more thumb down by the audience, and you get booted for 10 minutes. But you can call back if you're still awake. You can call back. I don't want you to think that if you ever get booted, we're mad at you. It's just the process, bro. Okay, so if you get booted, call back. But you're borderline.
All right.
You get one more thumb down, and you're out.
Yeah.
Ron, with a 30-second time.
Wrong. Sorry.
With a 30-second timer, Ron, no one has time to even look at anybody else's team, really, I don't think. So I don't know that he's fully, knows that he's taking your guy or anything, you know. But, I mean, I don't stack a lot. I stack when it makes sense, but, I got Mahomes and Kelsey. I planned on that in this draft, but I don't stack.
Think about it. Look at his team and look at where he's, pulled these players out of. He's taken he took Pickens.
I mean,
that doesn't do him no. He took Kmet, which doesn't do anything on his team. And I just like to give Travis heck anyways, because Travis always gives me heck anyway. So I'm just having fun.
But
so don't
Ron,
take me serious.
Yeah, no, I know. But Ron, would you draft Garrett Wilson, Christian Watson, and George Pickens on the same team? You certainly would.
Yeah, but I'm also getting their quarterbacks and I'm stacking them.
Well, not everybody stacks. Not every.
Know that.
Can I say something?
Yeah, thank you for being so polite, Denny. Go ahead.
Ron, I'm so polite. Ron, who the hell is going to be
Thank you, Crumbs.
the quarterback for the Jets?
The Jets?
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, Denny.
Who's going to be the quarterback for the Jets?
Aaron Rodgers, Denny.
It's going to be Aaron Rodgers.
I agree.
I mean, Denny, do you think that's falling apart? Is that what you're trying to insinuate here?
No. I forgot that he was going to be that. I love Aaron Rodgers. You got to think he's cool. I have an older brother, Scott, and he looks like Aaron Rodgers, so I just like Aaron Rodgers because he looks like my older brother, Scott.
Golf, my guy, Golf. A good laugh tonight. Thanks for these nights. Appreciate you, Golf. Thank you for the super chat. Thanks for keeping the lights on. Harry Crumbs and Golf.
To the moon.
Absolute monsters. Thank you both. Denny's the man, says TMT. Bro, this guy takes Sean Tucker 50 picks early, says Matthew. Probably talking about Travis. And you know what? Travis is taking some guys a little early, but I don't really want this to come down hard on Travis because Travis is just drafting who he wants to draft. And we are.
Messing.
I know, no, Ron. I know. Ron, I know you're messing with him. I'm just saying that, like, for anybody in the chat, there's people in the chat saying he's taking Tucker too early, or whoever took Tucker. Who took Tucker? It wasn't even. Who took Tucker? Grandpa Dollars took Tucker. I wasn't even Travis. But I'm just telling Travis right now because Travis is listening. And he probably feels bad or something. And I know you're messing with him, Ron.
No, he doesn't.
I just want to make sure Travis or anybody feels like they can.
Travis knows when if somebody takes one of my players that I normally take, he knows that I go after him.
Can I just say?
I'm just kidding.
I know, Ron. I know you're kidding. I've said that. I'm just letting Travis know he can draft how he wants, just in case, because we've had people before start changing their draft approach. And I'm like, dude, this is for a Garrett Wilson jersey. If you think Cole Kmet's going to smash, pick him by all means.
Garrett Wilson.
And
he's got Garrett Wilson.
Yeah. And Ron's okay with it, so he's just joking. Okay.
Yeah,
well, let's review. I know. Let's review these teams real quick. From the one pick.
I think Travis really matters.
I feel like I'm losing control of this show here. Denny, hang tight real quick for me.
Still in there? Travis, are you really mad at me?
Travis is not mad. Travis is not mad. I was just clarifying. The Patrick is on the line. The Patrick, you're live.
Oh, Patrick.
Hey, what's going on, Smitty?
What's up, bro?
Hey, I tuned in right when you made the DJ or the Debo over the DJ Moore pick, and I actually think I would have went with Debo too. So I think you can't count on Chicago's offense.
I love
except
Chicago.
for Justin Fields.
I love Chicago's offense, but I will say that I've been taking Debo in round 4 without much of a batting of the eye. I think in round 3, it's very, very questionable. Round 4 packages in a lot more risk. So I've been kind of talking negative on Debo lately, and he fell to 4 probably for a lot of that reason. Like on these drafts, whenever there's somebody that's in the conversation, heavy hardcore, doubt this guy, they fall a little bit in our next draft. That's just the nature of it. And so it puts me in a box because, like, here I am doubting this guy. Here I'm talking about him being a panic chamber guy. But that's in 3rd round. So 4th round territory, I don't know. It's pretty close.
Right. I like him. It's a little bit different because in the main league I'm in, we're a 10-team league.
Yeah.
So even the 4th round is a little bit higher for me. I like him right in that 5-6 turn.
Yeah. So he look right here. Look right here. So if you see his ADP, Debo, his ADP first column of numbers is 33.0. So his ADP is 33.
Can I say something?
I got him at 41. So it's like almost
Who's this QB? Smitty, who's this QB? I love this, but who's this QB?
We don't even know. That's what our whole point is. That's what our point is, bro. It's like that's why he's a risk.
Offense, it doesn't matter.
Well, you could say that, but at the same time, it does because Debo had a huge drop off last year. We're talking under 700 yards.
I agree.
Yeah. So
I agree. Hey, but for a 4th round talent, I think that's
doable.
Fine. I think Debo will be fine.
It was doable in the 4th round, but looking back on it, I kind of wish I went DJ Moore. I don't have a lot of DJ Moore shares, but yeah, I mean, look,
Who's this QB?
We don't know there, Denny boy. We don't know. Golf dropping a super chat. Do we have a Hold on, Denny. Do we have a 30-year-old moon man coming? Do we have an older 30-year-old plus moon man coming?
Dude, I think Curtis gonna be the guy.
Who's a 30-year-old? Who am I blanking out on that could be a moon man at 30, Ron? I mean, Aaron Rodgers, could be a moon man. I mean,
Loser from
what, Ron?
Wentz. Yeah, Wentz.
Ron,
Adam minus Garoppolo.
Two more thumbs down, Denny. You're in a 5-minute timeout. Don't take it offensive, Denny. It is what it is. We still love you, pal. There, one of our favorite callers, one of the show's favorite callers is Steven. He gets dropped all the time. He gets cut off all the time. He still calls back. He acts like it never happened.
Are people really saying that they're mad at me?
You're interrupting a lot.
Nobody's mad at you. Travis is mad at me.
Travis is on the line. Travis.
I love these guys. All right.
Thanks, Smitty.
I'm listening. Smitty, I'm listening.
You got one more thumb down. There it is. He's gone.
Finish him. Call terminated.
Travis.
Travis.
Read me the riot act.
What's up, bro?
Denny, you're in a 5-minute timeout. Call back in 5 minutes. Real quickly before Travis. Hold on 1 second. Before Travis shoots down that he's, the idea that he's mad at you. I know he's not. I wasn't saying he was. I was just letting people know in the chat because we got all this chaos going on. We got Ron Navy yelling, but we know he's joking. And I was just letting people know you can draft the way you want. But Travis, before you answer any of that, Etienne 3.6. The whole show is supposed to be kind of surrounding and around Etienne. Tell me what you think about Etienne's middle of the third round ADP.
I mean, it's probably about right. I think he's got bigger upside than that for sure. But I think people kind of got a little scared off. And did they bring in another running back, like a decent backup or something? I can't remember.
It's Hasty and let me pull the depth chart too just to make sure.
Oh, you're right.
Dearness Johnson.
Yeah, that was what it was. Dearness, right? Denny's trying to call back in. Denny, you're in a 5-minute timeout. You're in a 5-minute timeout, pal. So let's see your depth chart. Yeah, it was Jermichael Hasty, Dearness Johnson, Snoop Connor. Those, it's definitely not something to be worried about. In terms of who's on the roster now, it would be like Bigsby or Sean Tucker or a rookie getting drafted. Because those guys, I don't mind that. Those guys are no threat to a solid volume for Etienne. Even if Etienne's, potentially sharing some work, you want him to. You don't want him getting 22 carries a game. Denny, you're still in a 5-minute timeout. Denny's just blasting the phone line. Here, let's answer real quick. Hold on. You have reached the hold line. Please state your name. Please state your name.
Yeah.
All right, Travis, go ahead.
No, I mean, I could give a rip what Ron says about draft picks, but I know he's just kidding. But,
hold on 1 second. Sorry, hold on. You have reached the Fantasy Football Show hold line. Please state your name.
Danny. Yeah, where's Henry on?
Please press 1. To speak to Smitty, please press 1.
You're stupid. You're funny. Oh, it's Henry.
Denny, you're in a timeout. You got to call back in 4 minutes.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, bye. Okay, Travis, go ahead. I'm sorry. I had to hang up on Denny real quick. He just kept calling. I had to do something.
It's like 2 words about this. It's like, hold on.
All right, Travis, go ahead. I'm sorry. I won't interrupt you.
Oh, no, I don't have that much to say. I was just saying I could care less when Ron gets mad. He gets mad at everybody about the picks.
That's true.
If he really wants to, he can go and look. Half of my picks have actually been under the ADP Ron. So, but in all seriousness, like when I'm drafting, I look at the ADP a little bit, but I more so look at like where they are on the position list. If like a guy is like 3 spots from being picked, and I want him, and I'm not coming up for another 20 picks, I'm going to take the guy.
Agree with you.
know?
Oh, I totally agree with you.
Yeah, Ron's been
You don't gotta
joking.
make no excuse. I was just giving you shit because I gave Smitty crap earlier when he kept yelling DJ's name. I wanted DJ and he kept on like yelling his name out, so I had to give him crap about it.
It probably bothers Ron a little more than he's letting on, but he does get over it really quick. Ron's like he's got a reset, like, and he goes back to like 0. He's like, he'll go to like 90 out of 100 and then just go straight back to 0. It's like a meter. It's like,
I was gonna say you can tell it like it really pisses you off in the moment, Ron, but then like he really does come back to earth
he does.
so quick.
Ron, your bounce back is unbelievable.
My bounce back.
Like, do you remember that one time Ron hung up the phone because he was gonna drop F-bomb after F-bomb? I forget what that was about, but like it was like 2.5 minutes later he calls back. He's like, "Hey guys."
He hung up the phone and put a hole in his wall and called us back.
Right. Ron, why were you mad?
Ron or Denny that was going to beat up Kamara.
Ron, that was Ron. Ron, why were you so mad that you hung up? I forget what it was. Was it getting sniped? I think it was something simple, right?
Oh yeah, I got sniped. I did. I got sniped and something happened. I forget.
It was like 2.5 minutes later.
Adam's like, I'm surprised Ron hasn't yelled at me, and I'm like, Adam
does.
read me the riot act tonight.
Yeah, but you were yelling at all the time. Okay, let's go to we got a new caller here. Hold on. Caller from the 919. Who are we talking to?
This is Harry Crumb.
Harry, what's up,
Harry.
Crumb?
What is up? I have a quick question for the fantasy football show, and I think you guys is the correct meeting of the minds for this question. Come on. What are some emerging sophomores ready to hatch this year? What are some tight ends who are ready to become their own?
It's a great question. You want tight end only at this moment, or you really anything's game?
Anything. I'm looking for some real opportunities.
Okay, Okonkwo's a sophomore, so this qualifies exactly for your question. So he's obviously going to have a real nice season. If we're going to stick on your exact topic at hand, sophomores, I would say, yeah, Okonkwo's, likely's a very big upside guy, but he doesn't have the situation right now. So out of sophomores, Okonkwo would be the main guy. Obviously, all the Moon Men wide receivers we have, from Garrett Wilson, Olave London, to Christian Watson, to Pickens, all those guys are ready to explode and have big seasons. I think Sky Moore's your more crafty later guy. I love Sky Moore. I think Sky Moore's got so much upside and appeal. I just can't contain myself when I draft this man, and I draft him a ton. I think
Jelani Woods for tight end.
Yeah, Jelani. You know what, Ron? I was literally about to select him. I swear. I just took him.
Next on my queue too.
Yeah, because Jelani Woods, whenever you get into like the 15+ round range, this guy is, if he gets Lamar, or if, let's say they trade up and they get Anthony Richardson, I think he's gonna have a big year. There are two guys that are 6'7", and I didn't even know Jelani was 6'7". I thought he was more like 6'5", 6'6". But Darnell Washington and Jelani, these tall monsters, are going to be the new prototypical wide receiver in about 2-3 years, I think. I think Jelani Woods has got a lot of upside. So he's one that's a good one, Ron.
I like Lively in Baltimore, too.
Obviously, Breece Hall and Walker, those are easy. But, like, deeper guys, like Pacheco's an interesting sophomore. Algier's an interesting sophomore.
I really like Pacheco.
Quarterbacks.
Pacheco's just fun to watch.
Hey, what's that, Ron? Look over there, Ron. What's that, Ron? Pickett, I'm not super high on. When Ron comes back, he'll say Pickett. I'm not super excited, but I think he's okay. He's fine. He's not going to bust or anything. But I think, Algier, James Cook, a lot of people are like, I don't know. Those are sophomores, but.
You don't like his small hands.
I mean, I think we proved that his hands weren't actually all that small. But yeah, they're smaller than the average bear. But I think, Mahomes and Burrow
You're
have
going to be
small hands too.
apologizing at the end of the year, Smitty, when my fruition comes true and Pittsburgh wins the North and Pickett just like unloads to Pickens and they just have a awesome year. You're going to be like, yeah.
And then you woke up.
Well, Ron, we both agree Pickens is going to have a day, every day. But I just don't know how much I love.
You got 11 seconds on the clock.
Yeah.
The North is a lock for the
Hey,
Bengals.
Ron.
That's just a done deal.
Ron, what
The
do you
North
think
is a lock?
gonna do?
Oh yeah. What's that?
Who's
The AFC North is not a lock.
Yeah, who's locking in the North, bro? Who said that? Who said that?
I like the Bengals. I really like the Bengals in the AFC North.
Oh, AFC North. You know what? I
okay.
have to agree. The AFC North is a lock. I agree with them. Bengals. But
It was the Bengals. I thought Homeboy was saying the Steelers.
yeah,
I said the Steelers.
I mean, the
Steelers are going to win the North. The Bengals defense took a hit. They lost both of their best safeties on defense. Yeah, their offense is going to look good, but look what the Steelers did to them last year. The Steelers murdered Burrow.
Yeah, well, Burrow's got upgraded protection. It's going to be a whole different ballgame now. But I think if the Bengals did improve their offensive line like they have this offseason, we'd be looking at this feels like a team that could literally lose the division, still get a wild card spot in March to the Super Bowl. But I feel this is my opinion. I think the Steelers are going to put up a real strong fight for a wild card spot. So Ron, I think they could definitely be playoff bound. The Bengals smash the North. I think the Buffalo Bills, Dolphins, and Jets are going to be a dogfight. And the New England Patriots, if they get Lamar and Hopkins, let's say as an example, then they'll be in a dogfight too. But they need to do multiple things. Jaguars, I think, are going to smash the AFC South. I think that the Colts, if they got Lamar and let's say they drafted Jackson Smith and Jigba with their number 4 overall pick or traded the 4 pick down and took Jackson Smith and Jigba, the Colts would be surprisingly in a dogfight with the Jaguars. But for right now, Jaguars smash. The AFC West, KC Chiefs. I mean, how is anybody going to knock them off of that mountain there? I mean, the Chargers, they got so much work ahead of them still to prove anything to me. The Raiders are going to fall apart like Jimmy G. And the Broncos, I mean, I'm excited about Sean Payton, but show me it before I even consider, having them be anything close to a Kansas City Chief, type of team. So Chiefs smash. So for me, if we're just talking AFC, KC, division win, playoff lock. Jaguars, playoff win, lock. Bengals, playoff win, lock. We'll call Buffalo the winner in a dogfight. We'll say Miami and the New York Jets get 2 of the wild card spots. That leaves Pittsburgh and literally the Chargers and Broncos. It's not a very big playoff or wild card race. It's not a deep wild card race. The NFC surprisingly has way more teams in the dogfight for the wild card spots. So Pittsburgh could certainly be in the playoffs.
Because the NFC Pittsburgh's winning the North.
I know you said that. I love the enthusiasm.
Bengals will be in the wild card.
It's going to be an amazing
Pittsburgh
year
will come
for
in
all
last in their division.
If you are a Big Cat team, right? If you're a Jaguar, a Panther, a Bengal, all the Big Cat teams are going to do amazing this year. They're going to be the best games to watch in 2023, I believe.
Panthers are going to be.
I'm not jumping on the Panthers yet.
You don't have to like the Panthers. You just got to like where they're going.
I like where they're going.
It's going to be an all-new
the
offense.
Saints still have that division. The Saints still have that division.
Yeah, that's probably going to happen.
Hey, I think the Panthers will do all right this year. That's why I just drafted Stroud. I think Stroud's going to the Panthers, and I drafted Hurts because he's the tight end there, and I drafted DJ Shark. So there you go.
Stacks.
Yes, I do.
How do you guys feel about Geno Smith?
He's all right.
Geno's good. I think he's good.
I think he's all right.
How long does he have left in the NFL?
I don't know. I don't feel like he's a guaranteed to do what he did last year, though. And the part that makes me really concerned for him, not concerned in general, because I don't have any investment in Geno, to be honest. But the part that would have me concerned is that we're hearing a lot of weird buzz about Seattle and Anthony Richardson. And it doesn't make sense from a contract perspective, but they're attending, they're watching, they're potentially, they're shopping. They're not just browsing; they're shopping for Anthony Richardson. So,
what was Geno's contract? Wasn't it 3 years?
He's got Walker in the background, so he's got Walker, and he's still got DK. And he's still got
Tyler Lockett.
Lockett. And they're going to add. I bet you they add a couple wide receivers on there. So I think
They need to work
Seattle,
on that defense.
saying this, and I know I said this before. I think Seattle takes the West.
It very well could.
And I think that the 49ers will have to win a wild card.
And for anybody that's going to go, the 49ers, I can't believe you said that. Like, take a step back, look at the reality of your quarterback situation before you start, like, saying that the Niners are a guarantee of this or guarantee of that. Like, so I just want to set the expectation that on this show, nothing's handed to anybody that's looking at a quarterback situation like the Niners are looking at. Like, that is a really, really tough situation to be in. As for Geno Smith's contract, it is essentially a 3-year deal that has so he's a free agent after the third year, that has a way out really in 2024. So the potential out in 2024, you can see it on this line right below the 2023 row. It says potential out 2024, 1 year, $27 million, 17 mil dead cap. So this contract is such that it doesn't really feel like it's a true commitment. This is like, we're talking. We're not fully dating. We're talking. And I don't know. I mean, the 8.7 dead cap in the third year, that's not a big deal at all. They could cut him in a heartbeat to save this 14. Whenever the salaries well outweighs the dead cap hit and the player's not working out, they'll easily cut the player for 8.7 mil dead cap in order to save that 14.8 mil salary. So he's only guaranteed to be on the roster for obviously this year. And then the out next year is a little costly because 17.4 mil is a pretty heavy dead cap. So I would say this doesn't lock Geno in as the long-term option. And you know what? Like Ron said, there's a lot of amazing weapons already on this team. I wouldn't be surprised if they said, let's just make sure we don't run into a situation like the Dolphins ran into last year or the Niners ran into last year. And let's put ourselves in a invincible position at the quarterback spot. And Anthony Richardson is still raw. And you put him in the hands of a Pete Carroll, who took a guy by the name of Russell Wilson from the depths of the ocean and brought him up into an MVP caliber type quarterback. And as soon as he leaves, he's garbage. I'm not saying Sean Payton can't reignite some of that spark, but I mean, Pete Carroll he probably is one of the top, 3 or 4 coaches that you want in charge of this Anthony Richardson project. So I'll admit, the first time I heard this, hey, do you think that the Seahawks are really serious about looking into it? I'm like, it's just, they're attending pro days. They're just looking at it. They're browsing. But I really think that the problem is I don't think Anthony Richardson falls to this 5 pick. But, like, what if the Seahawks moved up to 3 and the Cardinals just moved down to 5 or something like that? Like, it's certainly possible.
Now, here's a counter question there, because it definitely looks like Geno Smith, his contract is designed for a QB to develop behind him on the bench a little, like an Anthony Richardson. But what's the chance that they just wait a year and then gun really hard for like a Drake May?
I mean, probably depends on if they can even get Richardson, because they in the current number 5 overall pick, they can't. So if they can get him, they'll take him, I think. But, like, let's say Richardson fell to 5. They would take him. They would take him. But I don't know. I think speculating out another year is hard to do. I think they'd certainly be open-minded to it. It also depends on how Geno does. If they don't replace Geno in this draft, which is so weird, they just signed him to a big deal and they're going to replace him already. If they don't replace him in this draft, whether they replace him or not will depend if he balled out. If he balled out and produced top 6, top 7 NFL QB numbers, then they're probably going to say, we don't need to go get a quarterback. This is our guy. So
I mean, he did great last year. He did solid.
Mm-hmm. He did more than solid. He did so good. It's really kind of like, I don't know, weird that I don't like him more. I just can't accept that Geno Smith is going to continue. Just like I have a tough time accepting that, like Goff is more than a 1 or 2 year solid quarterback. Like, he's solid. Goff is very, very solid. Like, Goff is underrated for sure. Even to my standards, I underrate Goff. I know that I underrate Goff. But I don't feel like Goff is the kind of quarterback you feel ultra comfortable in for like a 2, 3, 4, or like 3, 4 year window. Like maybe 2 years. But Goff to me feels a lot like Matt Ryan felt to me several years ago when people were still like, no, Matt Ryan's great. And I felt like this isn't going to last with Matt Ryan. At some point, everyone's going to be off the Matt Ryan train. They're going to forget they were all over it, just like everyone's all on Goff right now. Not to a crazy level, but like enough to where people are saying stuff like, when I say go get Lamar Jackson if you're Detroit, people say, oh, why would you want to do that? Goff's so much better. I think in 2 years, you're going to look back on that and regret that if that's your stance. Maybe not right now. Maybe not right now. I get it, but...
Golf was having some big fantasy point games last year.
Yep. He certainly was. So was Matt Ryan, when he was going off. So, like, I get it.
Matt Ryan couldn't even throw the ball to Pierce. Pierce, he could have had a great season, but Ryan couldn't get him the ball.
That's because Ryan sucked at that point. But I'm saying there were people that were super. My whole point is there are people that are super high on Matt Ryan as much as people are super high on Goff right now, and I feel that it's going to be short-lived. Brissett, I think Brissett might start some games. I need another backup quarterback. Okay, so here's the teams real quick. Let me just go over the teams real briefly with you guys on the line here. Ron, Navy, John, and Patrick. I don't know who else is on the line here. Let me see here. We got 919 is Crumbs, right? 919 area code's Crumbs. Did Travis?
Yeah, I'm 919.
You're what?
Yeah, I'm from Raleigh, which is the 919 area.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, hang tight, Crumbs. Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow. Looking at that stack, this makes me excited. Devontae Smith, Mark Andrews, Mike Williams, DeAndre Swift, David Montgomery. I like the Detroit Lions stack. That's a really good stack in best ball. I think you're going to do good with that. Treylon Burks, Aaron Rodgers, really good team. Really good team from the 1 pick. Ron Navy in the 2 spots got JJ, Kenneth Walker, Justin Fields. I really like that trio. Hawkinson, super valuable in the 4th round. That's a really good pick. And that's the end of the 4th round. Jahmyr Gibbs. Let me go back to this. Jahmyr Gibbs, Charbonnet, Miles Sanders. Very, very solid squad, Ron. Very, very solid squad. McCaffrey.
Reaching a little room.
Ron the Reacher. I mean, look, I love those players though. Gibbs, Charbonnet, Kenneth Walker. I know. That's the weakest wide receiver room though you've ever developed though. Like usually you go a little harder at wide receiver. You went pretty heavy at tight end, quarterback early, and the combination left you, and then the running back run. But if you get guys you like, I don't care about that. When people say that to me, like, hey, you need to go heavier at wide receiver in a 3 wide receiver league. My response is like, okay, thanks for your opinion, But the receivers I targeted are guys that I like. Sky Moore, Hodgins. I feel like those guys I'm going to collect a lot of those guys. And if I want to go light at wide receiver 2 and 3 and stack up everywhere else, it's a strategy. It's called a strategy. It's a strategy that doesn't always work for everybody. And if your opinion's different on your wide receiver sleepers, then it's different. That's fine. But like if Ron loves Darnell Mooney and KJ Osborne and he believes in Hyatt and he thinks Hyatt's going to be the breakout sleeper, he loves Claypool, Tim Patrick's his guy. He's got his Bryce Ford Wheaton and Tyler Scott rookies. I mean, it could work out for him. I'm just saying it is the lightest wide receiver room I've seen you draft. But those,
yeah, well, that's because just how the draft goes. Everybody was going after wide receivers, and
you definitely went best player available. I like it.
Charbonnet was the biggest reach, but I'm waiting 20 picks to come back. He wouldn't have made it there, not even halfway there, if I didn't take him when I did.
You know what I would say if I was to say if you were to take a different player than Charbonnet, like I don't know, maybe a Godwin, maybe a Dotson, maybe a Jordan Addison. I don't know, but I mean, I like it. I like it.
If you notice, I mean, I got Mooney, stacked him, stacked Osborne, stacked Shark, stacked Claypool.
Loves to stack.
So they're mostly, everything I did was.
All right, Ryan Johnson from the 3. Christian McCaffrey, Olave, DK, Najee, Lamar, Keenan Allen, Darren Waller, Jordan Addison, Quentin Johnson, Russell Wilson. I like it. It's a really good team. 4 spot, Tyreek, Eckler, Higgins, DJ Moore, Trevor Lawrence, Lockett, Dotson. Very strong squad. Cooper Kupp, Breece Hall, Nick Chubb, Kittle, Judy, Pacheco, Dak, Kadarius Toney. I like that from the 5. Diggs and Josh Allen, Etienne. Etienne, we should have focused more on Etienne. I got to keep on focus with the topic at hand. Etienne, really, let me just rant on this real quick so we get the most out of this stream focusing on Etienne. Middle of the third round from the 6th slot. Etienne is fantastic value. Drake London got drafted right after him. Tony Pollard right after him. Derrick Henry. I feel like this is a arguable territory for him. I don't think it's like he needs to go higher. My saying he's great value doesn't mean we should all be drafting him higher. I think I like him here. I don't even love him earlier. I love him here. Nick Chubb before got drafted. Higgins before. DK before. Justin Fields, Devontae Smith before. It's a good slot for him. I think it's a fantastic. It protects you. It bakes in a lot of risk. Unless they draft a big name rookie running back, there's no one there unless they bring in Kareem Hunt, which is he's going to rain on somebody's parade. I know it. I know Kareem Hunt's going to screw somebody. And if that happened, that would be a little concerning. So the fact that the running back room is incomplete yet, and they haven't really done much, and they want a committee, they said they want to bring in multiple backs. They haven't really done it yet. Or Ernest Johnson, he's not a threat. So Etienne's still got a little bit of, he's not out of the woods yet. Jackson Smith and Jigba going around 4. I don't know how I feel about that. I think it's pretty good value. I don't know. I loved him when he was going like 5 or 6. Now he's going in the top of 4 sometimes, and it's so high. I like it, but I wish it was later. McLaurin, Dallas Goedert, Gabe Davis, Rashad White, Brian Robinson. Number 7 slot from Ada, Bijan, Waddle, Drake London. Careful not to, I know this is a Snipeville right now, but careful to not take London too high. He traditionally goes in round 4. So just in a regular draft with regular Joes, don't reach too high on him. You can get him as your 4th drafted player. Herbert, Kyle Pitts. I like Kyle Pitts' value, to be honest. That's a good team, Ada. I like it. My pick, or my draft slot, Kelsey, Mahomes. I love the stack. Tony Pollard, Aaron Jones. My 2 top wide running backs. My top wide receivers, Debo. I got Mike Evans. I got Evan Ingram. I got Alvin Kamara. I got auto-picked on Rashad Bateman. Alan Lazard, Anthony Richardson, Hodgins. I got auto-picked on Juju? How did I? Oh, I got Dobbs? Where was it? Was I asleep for 2 rounds?
I think so.
You were talking to Denny.
Yeah, Denny. This is why Denny. It's a problem. It's a problem. I auto drafted Juju and Romeo Dobbs, bro. Jelani Woods.
Roman Dobbs isn't that bad.
Well, I didn't pick him, Ron. It wasn't my guy. Anyway, I like my squad though. Okay, 9 pick AJ Brown, Saquon, Derrick Henry, Hopkins, Michael Pittman, Hollywood Brown, Godwin, Cam Akers. I don't know how I feel about Cam Akers. I feel like it's good value in round 8, but I still don't want him for whatever reason that is. Just doubt him. Devontae Adams from the 10 hole. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Josh Jacobs. I don't like the Adams and Jacobs. This is clearly a Raider fan right here. Who is this? Bad Boy Love. Amon-Ra, I love. Deshaun Watson, round 4. What are we doing here?
Yeah, that's a reach.
Woo!
From a Cleveland fan, that's a reach.
Grim Reacher. Is that you, Grim? Matt from the 11th spot. Lamb, JT, Amari Cooper, Calvin Ridley, Jamison Williams, Damian Pierce, Joe Mixon, Tua. It's okay, Matt. I've seen you draft better, I think. Who's Matt? In the chat, is Matt's name Matt in the YouTube live, or I imagine it is. If you're Matt, speak up. Okay, Travis, Garrett Wilson, Jalen Hurts, Ramondre, Christian Watson, Dalvin Cook, George Pickens, Javonte Williams, Zay Flowers, Penny, Cole Kmet. I like the team, man. That's really good. I don't know whose team's. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Travis, you still here?
Yeah.
I like it. I like it, bro.
This is going to be a bloodbath because, from top to bottom, all the teams, it's going to be real. This draft right here is going to be competitive all the way across.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody did a really good job.
And this is draft number 2 of Battle of Moon Men, which is for this Garrett Wilson autographed jersey, as well as a lifetime content membership to the fantasyfootballshow.com, my content site. Bold predictions, rankings, rookie rankings, super rookie rankings, which are the sophomores and rookies. I've done that before anybody started talking about that ranking, that little creative ranking thing that I do. Underdog, ironically, has a sophomore rookie draft, like an actual league. They do best balls for that. So I actually have rankings that cater exactly for that. Bold predictions, trade calculator, which I essentially, from my knowledge, and I couldn't find it. That's why I got into the business. I invented the trade calculator, the first instant-based trade calculator that I could find anyway. And that's why I got into the business in 2003. So I've been honing the trade calculator, honing my skills on developing it, getting it to become a tough thing to actually trick. I got all the video courses are coming here next month. Text device, one-on-one text device, articles, bold predictions. You get on over to thefantasyfootballshow.com, but I'll be giving away a free lifetime membership to the content. It won't include the one-on-one text device, but everything else, all the written stuff, the rankings, everything, the tools, that's all free to the winner of this Battle of Moon Men. And we'll be doing one draft pretty much every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And even when we do like a different draft, like if there's a mitten or a Best Ball Mania that we're doing, Best Ball Mania 4. Is it 4, Ron? It's 4, right? Best Ball Mania 4?
Yep.
Best Ball Mania 4, which is $25? $25. There'll be a $10 and a $25, I think.
25.
And so whether we're doing one of those side by side with one of these Battle of Moon Men drafts, we'll be doing them all off season, and someone's gonna win this autographed Garrett Wilson jersey. I'm pretty much done for the night, I think, gentlemen. So let's go around the horn real quick. Let's end with John, or start with John. John, you got 10 seconds. Tell me what's on your mind, John.
Thanks for letting me speak what I had to say. I look forward to keep on watching you.
John, I'll try and go live more. I appreciate you, John.
You haven't done Dynasty in the last couple of days, have you?
I know, I haven't. I should go now. Maybe we go live. Maybe we go live real quick on Dynasty for Etienne.
Yeah,
Let's do it real quickly, guys. I'm gonna go live right after this. Make sure you go to the Dynasty live stream. Gosh dang it, Ron. Thanks for reminding me, but also gosh dang it, Ron. Okay. Here's the link. Here's the link Make sure you guys have this link readily available. It's also, if you go to my main YouTube page, you scroll to the bottom of my main YouTube page, I have the Dynasty channel link right there. So let me pin the link. We'll be going live on the Dynasty channel right after this for just maybe 8 minutes to talk about Etienne.
I tried to get on track, Smitty.
I know
you're busy and you forget things.
I know. Okay, so real quickly, let's end these calls real quick. John, anything else, John? Appreciate you.
Nah, that's it.
All right, John. Later, pal. The Patrick. Final thoughts, Patrick.
The main focus of the show was Etienne. I have 3 different boards spread out. I have him as low as 24 overall. I have him as high or as low down as 37 overall. So I think right there at 30, that is good value.
Mm-hmm. I like that take.
The guy that thinks the Steelers are anywhere close to winning the North is
Ron.
ridiculous. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Not gonna happen, bud. Not gonna happen.
Before
The
you go,
Bengals had that on lock.
Before you go, Ron, do you have a rebuttal for the Patrick?
About what?
Too long.
He
ain't even passionate about it.
Him calling you ridiculous.
No, I wasn't paying attention because I was sending you a super chat just because you work for me and I got to pay you.
True. I work for all of you.
So,
and Ron Navy, I appreciate you. So the Patrick.
What was the thing? How am I ridiculous?
The Patrick said that guy. Thank you for the super chat for keeping the lights on. The Patrick said that guy. That you didn't even use your name. He just said that guy that thinks the Steelers is going to win. He's ridiculous.
Is that Kilpatrick?
No, his name is the Patrick.
Oh, the Patrick. Okay. All right. Well, he's experimenting with something that's not legal, I think. So there you go.
All right. Why are they going to win the North? Who's your quarterback? Pickett is going to take you to win in the North. So you're saying that Pickett is going to beat Joe Burrow twice?
This is a real beef. I can sense it.
You're gonna say
no, he's right.
Here's the thing.
The Steelers ain't happening next year.
Wait,
Not like that.
Wait. Cincinnati lost both of its safeties that were increment to be able to beat Mahomes last year. Last year, the Steelers defense, which is improved even from last year, sacked Burrow so many times in that first game that we won.
In the first game, week 1. Look at how many sacks Cincinnati's offensive line gave us the rest of the year.
The Steelers.
Who's going to have a better record next year, the Lions or the Steelers?
You're crazy. The Steelers are winning the North. You can doubt it all you want.
Yeah, okay.
It's going to happen.
It's not going to happen. You guys won't even finish in second. You won't even finish in second.
Come back in here once the Steelers and Cincinnati play their first game and the Steelers kick their ass. Come back in.
Yeah, I hear you talking.
Hey, the Patrick. Who'd you say? Yeah. I'm sorry, I got caught up trying to put the competition on screen here. Got the Patrick on one side, got Ron on the other. We're seeing what the chat thinks who wins. The Patrick, who'd you say is winning the? Who's winning?
The AFC North?
Yeah.
The Bengals.
Okay, I agree with you though.
The Bengals. The Steelers won't even come in second.
All down on Burrow, so of course you are. I wouldn't expect.
I'm a Browns fan, bro. Okay. I'm a Browns fan, and I'm still saying that the Bengals are winning the North.
Hey, that might be some real objectivity there.
Okay, that's part of your problem there. You're a Browns fan. That said it all right there. You're a Browns fan. You just
okay.
Pennsylvania is like the Florida men of the North.
We beat y'all last year too. We beat y'all last year too. We went 1-1, just like you did with the Bengals. So, calm down there, killer.
People from Pennsylvania are
but you didn't see
next level deluded.
Let's go ahead and get a vote from the chat. Who won this? The Patrick or Ron?
How many Super Bowls? None.
But that's the past.
6 times. Enough said. In fact, Cleveland is so bad that they had to move the original Browns team to to Baltimore, and then they had to cry for the team to come back. As a friend,
Hey,
happened.
Hey, the Patrick, can we stop talking about the Bengals? Ron, what's that? Ron, what's that over there? We all know the Bengals are winning the division. Okay, so let's let Ron have his victory.
Happening, Smitty.
Okay,
all right, get it
so
going.
hold on. Back to reality real quickly. The Patrick, I want to hear, do you think the Pittsburgh Steelers are losing to the Browns? Let's have that conversation, Ron. Let's have your Steelers versus his Browns conversation. Let's keep the Bengals out of it. You guys are Browns and Steelers fans. So the Patrick, tell me what you think. Browns or Steelers?
I don't know where we are as far as daggone like what weeks we play each other, but I think if it frames up like it did last year, where we got Steelers like within the, I think we'll split again. I think the Browns will take the first matchup before we lose all hope on the season, but you'll see toward the end of the year like we did last year.
Before we lose all hope on the season.
I'm realistic.
But
I promise you the Browns will finish above the Steelers in our own division.
Woo!
I promise you that.
Woo!
That is a true Browns fan right there.
Hey, I got a challenge.
Realism.
I got a challenge.
From up at Cleveland area?
Hey, I got a challenge.
I'm from Northeast Ohio, yes. Sorry, go ahead.
Losers got to come in and drop 10 gifted YouTube exclusive memberships.
Hey, I have no problem doing
on who finished with better standings in the North? I'm game.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ron. Put your money where your mouth is.
He will. He will.
I always do, 100%.
Oh, he already did.
I'm all for it.
He'll pay it in advance.
Hey, here's the thing. We got big rivalry. I'm from northwestern Pennsylvania, buddy, not far from Erie, so you know where that's at. So it's the rivalry, dude.
We are getting some comments. I like the Patrick's realistic. But hey, I like this. Okay, Ron versus the Patrick. We'll circle back.
You better write that down. You'll forget about it, Smitty.
I know.
Ron, you won't forget about it though.
No, I won't forget.
You remind him.
Ron's gonna talk about it every day.
Yep. Remind us
I love having passionate debates. That's for sure.
All right, the Patrick. I appreciate your objectivity and Ron, what's that over there? Totally agree with you. Bengals winning the division.
Sports Talk is in there.
All right, Smitty, it's great.
All right, later, Patrick. Appreciate you.
Off the rails here.
Right.
The Patrick, everyone.
Call in, SG Sports Talk channel. Come on, call in. With
Yeah,
your
hey.
Your San Francisco quarterback problems. Shanahan's one of the most garbage head coaches out there. What do you think about that?
Well, I don't think he's calling you a loser. I think you're the loser of the debate. I think maybe that got read wrong. Yeah, but hey, Sports Talk. You want to call in and discuss this quarterback situation of yours real quick? We're by all means available to discuss it with you. And I'm sorry, who's the 919 caller again?
Harry Crumbs. And I'm a big fan of Brock Purdy. He looked great last year.
Harry Crumbs. I finally can enter your name. When I got too many callers on the line, I can't click on the numbers to edit them. So now I've got Harry Crumbs in my system. Harry, when you've got a bat line now, when I see you're calling in, I'm going to answer it a lot more likely now that you're in the system. So Harry, congrats to that.
I appreciate that.
To the moon.
Yeah.
I appreciate that a lot.
Is Sports Talk coming in to discuss his quarterback situation, or is he going to head to bed early, having nightmares of that every year? And Sports Talk, I'm sorry, bro. I'm just going to hit you with the hard dose of my.
Here's what I got for you, Smitty. Since I got a bet for you, and here's my bet to you: if Pittsburgh wins the North, or if the Bengals win you're taking the Bengals. I'm taking the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
If the Bengals win, I will match my highest donation at that point. If Steelers win the North, if the Steelers win the North, you have to write on your forehead, "I love the Steelers."
How about I also do this on top of that? I'll write it on my forehead for the whole show. And then I'll do this. I'll put a Ron Navy. Literally, take up almost one half of the screen during the whole show.
You already made that bet, though.
What was that bet on? I forget that bet already.
That was on the 2400 JJ.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I'll give you this as well though. I'll write it on my forehead. Ron Navy is right. Ron Navy is right, and I'll put this on the top of the screen, and we got to look at it the whole show.
No, I want you to put on. I love the Steelers on your
Okay,
forehead.
whatever you want me to write, as long as it's not derogatory or something. I'll write it right here.
If I lose, then I'll match my biggest donation.
Okay, and just so everybody knows, his biggest super chat of the year. No, ever, or you're talking about ever?
Yes.
It's down here, $765. Ron's gonna drop a $765 super chat if the Bengals don't beat the Steelers. Now, do the Bengals have to win the division, or it's who's better? Like, what if
the Bengals have to win the division,
okay,
and the Steelers have to
okay,
win
otherwise,
the division.
like if let's say the Browns win the division,
if the
in fairy
Browns
tale
or
world,
Baltimore pull out some miracle and win the division, then the bet's just off.
I gotta write this one down on the board. This one's going on the board. Hold on. Ron. Steelers, Smitty, Bengals. Division win. 765 forehead. All right, I got it. Got it. I wrote it down. This one will be. I got to write some of these down to make sure.
Yeah.
So that's written down. So Ron's dropping a $765 super chat is what we're all talking about.
Yeah. Nobody's gonna ever tell me don't put my money where my mouth is.
I know. It really is that's one of the dumber statements that people can make on the show, to be honest. Let's see here. If Trey Lance gets traded, then what team does he go to? He's a real trade candidate. He's for sure a real trade candidate because when John Lynch was asked, would you trade, are the rumors about trading Ayuk real? And he's like, no, like we're not trading Ayuk. Would you trade Trey Lance? Oh, we'll listen to anything. Very, very different, stark responses. Very different.
Wouldn't you love to see Trey Lance? I mean, I know. I mean, we got Mike White there and all
Miami,
that. But wouldn't you love to see Trey Lance go to Miami?
I would. I don't know that they'll trade a quarterback to Miami Mike. I know they've traded with Miami Mike before, but can you imagine?
Trey Lance in a Falcons jersey.
Yeah, I like the Falcons. I like the Colts. And I like the Miami Dolphins. Those will all be pretty good spots. But any team that's going to give up a first rounder, they're not going to have so Miami would only do it if Tua was injured. Like if Tua was injured, they would do it because you're not going to give up a first rounder and not use them. So Atlanta to do it on draft day. Like, look, the Niners trade on draft day like a ton. Sports Talk says I'm hilarious. What did I say that was hilarious? If I'm just in general hilarious, thank you. If I said something funny, let me know. Trey Lance would be perfect fit for Minnesota. They got Kirk Cousins. They're not going near that. Like you, actually, you know what? Let me rephrase that. Kyle Shanahan loves Kirk Cousins. He absolutely loves him. So, to be honest with you, it's a possibility. It doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense if you're the Minnesota Vikings, but from the Niners' perspective, from Shanahan's perspective, he would probably do a trade similar. He would do a trade where he's getting Kirk Cousins and trading away Trey Lance. He's loved Kirk Cousins from the beginning of time. But why, if you're the Minnesota Vikings, though, why would you do that? You know, that's the only thing that I don't think is logical about that argument is that the Vikings, they think they can win with Kirk Cousins. They don't know if they can win with Trey Lance. So why would they do it? I don't think they would do it. I don't think they would do it at all. Real quickly, let's go to Travis. Before we go to George real quick. Travis, do you have anything else you want to add?
It's Niner Rick's birthday.
I'm good.
Happy birthday, Niner Rick.
To the moon, Niner Rick. Appreciate you, pal. Travis, appreciate you, man.
Thanks, Smitty. Talk to you later, guys.
Okay, yeah, call in anytime.
All right, bye.
All right, Harry Crumbs, any final words?
Yeah, I don't like the franchise tag. I think it's geared against players.
For sure.
And I think Lamar Jackson would do great in so many different places, but that franchise tag makes him too expensive. I
Russell,
feel like a
thank
lot
you.
of teams that want him can't afford him.
Russell, appreciate that super chat. Yeah, it's designed to pigeonhole the quarterback in places called the prison tag. We got a gifted membership from Russell, gifting 10. Russell, you still here, pal? I didn't see his super chat till right now. He gifted 10 memberships. I didn't see that until right now. Russell, let me know you're here. We're going to give you a standing ovation, buddy. And Niner Rick, happy birthday. I agree, the franchise tag, but it was, everybody's playing by the same rules, though. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know this going into the situation. You know all this. Like, you're a player. You're playing by these rules. It is what it is. You're getting top 5. Ultimately, you're getting top 5 if you're getting exclusive franchise tag, top 5 value at your position. That's a pretty good payday.
I feel like the only good resolutions we're going to see is going to be whether or not Lamar Jackson refuses to play.
Hey, Niner Rick, tell him to be quiet. We're on the phone.
Hey, keep it down, guys. We're on the other line.
Terry Roberts with a super chat. The money, the rain machine's broken. So there you go, Terry. Appreciate you making it rain. Smitty is the best fantasy teacher. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Smitty, I'm on the phone with you right now. Russ is on the phone with you.
Russ who? Russ J.
Russell J.
Oh, Russell J. Oh, okay. Thank you, Russ, for dropping that $10.
Oh hell yeah, that was fun. By the way, I don't care about that. I was calling as a Niner fan to give you a little insight on why they can't trade Trey Lance this year.
Okay.
And here's why. It would cost them a negative cap hit. Like, they would actually lose money to trade him. Nothing's going to be that good. Niners burn through quarterbacks. They're going to keep him this year. So they might trade him next year after they hold him another year and deal with the whole Sam Darnold, Brock Purdy thing. But this year, he's not getting traded. And if you go ahead.
I was going to say, I wouldn't say that he's not getting traded. I'd say the likelihood of it is low because, look, cap hits aren't a big deal. Like, at the end of the day, if you're getting something that's worth more than the cap hit. So, like, a team, even if they're going to lose, like, Deebo Samuel's got a cap hit of like $35 million or something. You're not trading.
It's ridiculous.
You're not trading Deebo. Deebo's not going anywhere. That cap hit's extremely paralyzing. But, like, if there's a cap hit for Trey, what's the cap hit for Trey?
So if they traded him, they would lose $3 million. Like, it would be negative $3 million. They can't make money.
Nothing, though.
And so, did you watch all the stuff on the with the owners' meetings? Like, with John Lynch and
John Lynch clearly said that they'll listen to anything. They love him on the team. Blah blah blah.
John Lynch said that. Kyle Shanahan said the opposite. It was weird. They're not in lockstep.
Yeah, they're not. But John Lynch is ultimately one that I think will pull the trigger. He said a lot of people say that Shanahan's the one that makes the decisions, but John Lynch was 100% the reason that Christian McCaffrey was traded for. That was a Stanford connection, family connection. CMC, the McCaffreys are super close to John Lynch. John Lynch has a lot of pull. Not to mention, bro, John Lynch, Trey Lance is 80% of Niner fans and people connected to the situation say that John Lynch, his guy was Trey Lance. Mac Jones was Shanahan's guy. So why did they draft Trey Lance?
Nope. Trey Lance was more of Kyle's guy. Yeah.
I would say most we got Niner Rick on the phone. Hold on, let's ask Niner Rick. Niner Rick,
that's
do you
believe?
And hey, bro, I wait. George, right? George? No. It's Russ. Big Brain Russ. We got you as Big Brain Russ in here. Why do we call you Big?
Because I fixed your phone the other night.
Yeah, Big Brain. Attaboy. Give him a standing ovation. Big Brain Russ. Maybe I shouldn't be arguing this guy.
Hey,
maybe I shouldn't be arguing this guy. He's got a big brain.
I met Jalen Hurts tonight.
You did?
Yes. He was sitting outside. I went to Texas de Brazil with my girl for my birthday.
Is this Niner Rick?
Sitting outside with some girl, and I was like, babe, I think that's Jalen Hurts. And she's like, who? She didn't know who I was talking about. And then she's like, go say hi. You know you want to. So I went up to him. I was like, hey, bro, are you Jalen? And he goes, nah, not tonight. and then I was
It
sick of
probably
10. I
wasn't.
said, "Yo, I got to give you shit for beating my Niners."
And he said, "I don't care."
He dapped me up. He gave me the nod for respect because I didn't ask for an autograph or a picture, none of that shit. But dead ass, bro. I met I met Jalen Hurts.
Hey, Niner Rick,
Jalen Hurts tonight.
did you apologize for the way that you guys all behaved as a Niner fan base toward his team? Did you say?
Absolutely not.
Did you lick his boots and say you are the
Absolutely
Messiah?
not.
Did you say that you're
I wanted to tackle him.
Did you say you're going to win the NFC again and there's nothing I can do about it? My team doesn't have a quarterback?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. Actually, afterwards, he came inside, gave me the nod, and put his hand out, and I left him hanging on accident, to be honest with you.
Hey, okay, hold on. Niner Rick, hang tight. Happy birthday, by the way. Big Brain Russ,
Thank you.
first of all, let me again thank you for the $10 exclusive memberships that you handed out. Anybody that got one from them, please give them a thank you. Also, Big Brain Russ, I agree with you that Trey Lance is going to be extremely hard to trade. But when you say something,
it would have to be ridiculous, dude.
Right,
The
because
trade would have to be,
but not because of a $3 million dead cap. But not because of a $3 million dead cap hit. That's really peanuts.
Well, we have no money, so the money would have to make sense, and we got something better back.
Okay, so what are you buying? You buying a nice draft pick? Then it's worth it. It's worth spending money and buying a draft pick. So I think ultimately it comes down to what you're getting. If you're getting a first rounder, but the problem is the expectation level of the Niners is going to be like, we get 2 or 3 first rounders because we gave up 3 first rounders. No one cares what you gave
people
up.
Are yeah. People are idiots about that stuff.
Yeah.
Just
So
straight up
so Shanahan's going to want like
and the Niners.
A whole lot.
The Niners don't really consider them first rounders because they knew they'd be drafting late. And there's this. I follow some guys on the West Coast that say they knew they couldn't afford first round picks because of how many contracts they have. So I feel like they're hedging their bets this year. Either Brock Purdy comes back and he hits, or Trey Lance hits, or they get lucky and find gold in Sam fucking Darnold. They're not trading him this year. Next year, maybe, and he can be traded next year.
But you got to ask yourself. I know you're saying they're not lockstep, but you got to ask yourself when you're asked the question, would you trade Brandon Ayuk? And it's like, hell no. And then it's like, would you trade Trey Lance? Well, we'd listen. They're two very, very different.
Well, we trade Brandon Ayuk for what? Like, what would you trade Brandon Ayuk for? You know what I mean? Like, we should never have traded go ahead.
But if your answer is we don't trade our players, we like our team, we're moving on, you're going to answer the same way. It was answered very, very differently.
No,
I'm just saying.
I didn't really say that this time. I just think they need quarterbacks because they get them all wrecked. Like Shanahan stuff.
It's all fun and games
to figure.
until Trey Lance is in a Seahawks jersey.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, definitely not
Here's
trading
the
him.
truth about Trey Lance. Here's how I feel as a Niner fan. Trey Lance is a good kid. He works his ass off. And if we don't figure out how to use him, I hope he finds his way to another team that does.
I agree
Even
with
if it's Schmitty's Cardinals. You know what I mean? Like, he's a good kid. And did anybody in this room see how he acted on Super Bowl when Rich Eisen goes, do you think you should get the job back? And he goes, nope. No, that's Brock Purdy's job. I have to work for it.
Yeah,
that's the best thing you could ever hear from a quarterback.
I like it. The only problem is Shanahan's setting him up for failure. He just, I mean, to make him split, to not hand him at least the number 2 role on this team when you spent 3 first rounders on him, and you literally say we're going to have you work first team reps split evenly between Sam Darnold and yourself. You're literally taking a dump right on the guy's confidence.
So I read. Can I give you like a quick thing real quick? I read an article on Athletic today, which I know their articles aren't always the best, but it said here's
good
why
intro.
we're splitting reps. Are you on the Athletic now? Did you get hired by the Athletic?
No. I'm just saying. Way to sell us on the confidence level of this article. You're like, I know the Athletic sucks, but go.
Well,
here's what they said.
I actually liked what he said.
Okay, go ahead.
Here's what they said. They said they wanted to put them together, 1A and 1B, sharing reps because Shanahan can't judge quarterbacks, and here's why they know they can't judge quarterbacks. Because they saw Brock Purdy in camp with Jimmy Garoppolo, and they still decided on Jimmy Garoppolo. So that was the argument the guy made. That was the whole argument.
Yeah, I mean, that's a total spec piece, but like it's a good question to ask to say, this is something we've said before on the show. Like, he's the worst judge of quarterbacks. He didn't know Brock Purdy was this good. Like the team drafted him,
That-
so you
so-
got to give. And was that Peters? I don't know if that was a Peters selection or what, because he's so good at drafting players late. But Shanahan
it was
clearly
100%. It was the one. No, yes, it was the guy. Yes, the one that will be a GM soon. It was 100%.
Adam Peters. You're going to lose him, by the way,
Yep.
at some point because you won't keep him.
Bro, we should have lost him. We should have lost him 2 years ago.
Yeah. So Peters selected Brock Purdy, and Shanahan had no idea how good he was. And so this is the guy that's
so the
supposed
idea
to
behind
decide.
the article is that they're going to put them together next to each other, and there's another thought to it was hopefully he makes Sam Darnold look so bad in camp that the Niner fans that don't like him will get behind him, because there's a lot of Niner fans that hate Trey Lance. So that's the other half of it. They're like, oh, maybe he'll look properly.
I get it, but at the same point, this is like trying to find a reason to explain it. If you're a coach, it goes a lot further to be like, this is our guy. This is our guy.
Yep, have their back. Have their back.
It's
1000%.
ridiculous.
I'm on your side on it.
Shanahan's the worst with quarterbacks. He's so bad with it. He's like, to be such an offensive savant and to be so good at scheme.
The only thing he's missing is to figure that thing out. Like,
So-
that's the one thing that he can't figure out.
That's why he should never have been a head coach. He should have been an offensive coordinator. But eventually you
I
rise
mean,
up.
they used to say that about Schmidt. You know this. I think we're like close to the same age, early 40s. I'm guessing. They used to say the same thing about Andy Reid. Like totally 1,000%. Like, he knows quarterbacks, can't be a head coach. Shanahan will figure it out. I don't know if he'll be a Niner head coach or he'll figure it out somewhere else, but
Well,
they'll figure it out.
he shouldn't have. Okay, so am I saying he can't develop better? No, I think he could. But the problem is he's such a stubborn individual. I don't know that he's ever going to let
Agreed.
anybody help him make this decision. So he's going to fail out. He's going to fail out as a coach eventually because Christian McCaffrey saved the day. If Christian McCaffrey was not acquired in trade, the Niners wouldn't have made the playoffs, and Shanahan would have been talked about as being fired. But instead, everyone's talking about Coach of the Year potential.
They were talking about him being fired before that, yes.
Right. So all of a sudden, that's what my point is. So you acquire McCaffrey, he saves his job, and also vaults him into the Coach of the Year category. And everybody just blindly thinks that that's the way it is. When in reality, this guy said that Tom Brady was marginally better than Jimmy G. He passed on Patrick Mahomes. His ideal quarterback is. Yeah.
Can I step in for a second real quick and give you like a funny bounce? Do you know who Grant Cohn is?
Yeah. I mean, I don't
Obviously,
watch him, but I know he's,
You don't have to watch him. But so he picks on Shanahan a lot, right? And the one thing he says about Shanahan, which is what you're saying, is that Shanahan doesn't want to start quarterback because Shanahan wants to be the star of the team.
Yeah, he does it. He didn't want Brady because Brady knew more than him. That would just be an ego shot.
But that was the so when you said Brady, that's what I thought of.
Yeah, well, I mean,
1000%.
I say that all the time. His ego is so big he couldn't take Aaron Rodgers on. He even if you guys lost both Purdy and Trey Lance, and you were looking at Darnold as your quarterback. Let's say you have 11 wins, playoff lock, everything, and you're going into the playoffs with Darnold, and Tom Brady called up Shanahan. You'd have to have John Lynch say, "I don't care what you say, Kyle. He's coming." And I think John's in that place now. I think John wasn't because Shanahan hired John Lynch. And so there's a real awkward balance of power there. But John, I believe, fully orchestrated the Christian McCaffrey trade. I feel like John's taken the reins of some of the power of that dynamic now because it's a big different power vibe that I get now. I think this time around Brady would be on the team in that situation, but if let's say if Brady called up Shanahan and Shanahan had full control, he said, "Hey, Kyle, I heard both your quarterbacks went down. You're looking at Sam Darnold. Put me in. I'll win you a Super Bowl." Yeah, no, we're just gonna go ahead and go with Sam. We think Sam's only marginally lesser than Tom Brady. That's 100% what Shanahan would do. 100%.
Do you think it's weird they went out right away, and signed Sam Darnold, right away?
It's because, bro, Sam Darnold's garbage. He's garbage. He's not a good quarterback.
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, no, I know. I think you guys are better off trading Trey Lance and bringing in Cam Newton as your backup quarterback and waiting on Brock Purdy.
Bro, Cam Newton would have been way better than fucking Josh Johnson last year.
It's crazy when people rip on the Cam Newton idea because no one's asking Cam to be the full-time starter. It's who could fill in and win games and facilitate this offense that has the best second, first, or third best defense in the league.
Did you see Cam Newton's interview with Pat McAfee though?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
They asked if he wants to back up, and he said, "No, I'm better than 32 guys."
I know he does, but at some point he's not going to get that because there are not a lot of job openings. So what he's going to take?
By the way, I agree with you, 1,000%.
What
Cam
he's
Newton
going
would
to
have
take?
been way better than Josh.
What he's
going
to take, bro?
I think y'all should have brought back Kaepernick.
But what he's going to take, though, bro, is a job where he's starting. He's
bro.
starting weeks 1, 2, 3, 4. Cam Newton would start weeks 1, 2, 3, 4. He would get an opportunity to actually start with the Niners, whereas he wouldn't anywhere else. So at least he would win a Super Bowl ring. He'd also back up a very injury-prone quarterback room and could literally position himself to win 3-4 games for a team.
To get over the hump.
It would be a phenomenal landing spot, and for people to literally act like when I bring up Cam Newton's name, people act like he's worse than Darnold. Darnold's garbage. Like, what are people thinking? Darnold's garbage. Cam Newton would, at least in this specific offense, maybe he wouldn't do well anywhere else, but in this specific offense, he would actually be very, very efficient. He would be a perfect fit for Shanahan's offense, especially if you have him playing that Jimmy G role where you're throwing short passes to Deebo Samuel. You're doing design plays to Deebo. This is why Jimmy did well. Cam Newton's better than Jimmy G. Does anybody really believe, besides the Bruce, and I love the Bruce, does anybody really believe Cam Newton can't outperform Jimmy G? I don't understand it.
Cam Newton's way better than Jimmy G. And Derek Carr's better than Jimmy G. That's why this whole thing with the Raiders is going to be way entertaining.
Russell, appreciate the additional $5 holler. Terry Roberts, thank you.
It never fails. It always comes back to the 49ers in every live stream.
Well, we talk about pretty much every team, throughout a show. But this is I'm in the West Coast. I have a lot of West Coast fans and followers or whatever. So it comes up.
North Dakota.
The Niners do come up a lot. I do a lot of Niner stuff, so I've collected Niner fans along the way. But I mean, bottom line is, and Matthew says it's not about talent, Smitty. Exactly. Cam Newton's a perfect fit for that Shanahan system in terms of limiting it and having to win games. If Cam Newton stepped in, this guy Cam Newton that no one wanted to roster, nobody wanted to roster Cam Newton. I promise you, Matthew, that if Cam Newton was able to go in that game instead of Johnson, you would have been in a Super Bowl. For sure.
Josh Johnson couldn't throw a football, man. It was tough, bro. It was tough to watch.
Yeah,
1,000%.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Anyway,
shout out to Josh Johnson for keeping a job.
Big Brain Russ, appreciate you calling in, pal. I'm going to end the show now because I've been live for what has it been, 2 hours? Appreciate you calling in,
good, man. I appreciate you having me in.
Yeah, thank you for dropping the super chats. Appreciate you. Niner Rick, happy birthday. Niner Rick, anything else you'd like to add real quickly on your birthday, pal? Congratulations on meeting Jalen Hurts and licking his boots and telling him he was an absolute phenom. Niner Rick?
I just want to say that everybody, thank you for the happy birthday wishes, man. And I love this channel. Smitty, you're the best, bro. You're the GOAT, man. Thank you, everybody. If you haven't dropped the mic, drop that.
How old you turn?
35 today, baby. 35.
Oh, you're still a young pup.
Go get it, Niner Rick.
I feel young.
The world is yours, Niner Rick. Go get it.
Niners winning the Super Bowl this year, baby. Let's go.
All right, later, pal.
Later.
George from the Bay, any final thoughts? Anything you want to throw out there? I don't know if you've even talked much.
No, I've been on hold for 18 minutes.
Oh, good God. Bro, interrupt next time. George.
No, it's all good. You guys are talking about some really good stuff, but one of the main points I wanted to bring up is, first-round quarterbacks, they don't really start making that jump till year 3, year 4. There's only been a few exceptions over the last couple of drafts, and obviously Herbert, Burrow are like the two that come to mind. Trevor Lawrence last year made a jump, so – I mean, the thing with Trey Lance is we still haven't seen him. He hasn't played that much football. This is only his 3rd season, so this year it's either make or break for him. You know what I mean? Like, is he going to make that jump or is he not? And the thing that we've talked about in the past couple of shows is Shanahan's going to hold him back because of the way that he shifts the offense. So that's the only thing that I'm concerned about with Trey Lance.
Yeah, he'll definitely play a different offense and a different playbook. His playbook for Trey is going to be this thick. And we used to joke about Jimmy G's playbook being this big, and Trey's being this big, and then Purdy's is this big. And it's like, you're obviously already saying you don't believe in Trey Lance when you're like, he's a, dual threat quarterback. They're different quarterbacks. If you don't believe in Trey as a gunslinger, as a pocket passer, why'd you draft him? Why did you draft him? Why don't you send him somewhere else if you don't care about him at all and you don't want to support him?
He's also very inexperienced. He's barely played any football. Like you said in the show earlier, you played more football than he has in the last couple of years.
Yeah, I played more NFL games than he has. And I haven't played any. It's crazy. I mean, I obviously started the week 1 game against the Bears, but that was like nobody played in that game. That was just a big mud bowl bash where no one did well. Nobody did well. He came in and had 3 or 4 completions and then broke his ankle foot. And so I hate when people say he's already busted, but there's an argument to make. He hasn't proven anything, but he hasn't even been given a shot.
He can't bust if he doesn't get the shot. That's the thing.
It sucks for him. Just trade him, get him out. I mean,
look. There's only like maybe 3 natural quarterbacks over the last 5 drafts who have been excellent. And that's Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, and it looks like T-Law is going to be one of them. And those are all top 5 picks, right? So when it comes to Trey Lance, it's like he doesn't even have the experience. Like Joe Burrow played half a season before he got hurt. Justin Herbert sat a little bit, then he played. So, that's the way it happens with quarterbacks. Look at Mahomes. Mahomes sat out his first year, sat behind Alex Smith, and then he became good, after learning. So I think this season it has to be Trey Lance's go. You give him the fucking reins to the offense. You let him play, and you just let him see what he can do. And then if he's a bust after the end of this season, then
you also got to keep in mind that it's like what Brock Purdy did was amazing, but it's not fair. It's not fair because Trey didn't have Christian McCaffrey. Trey didn't have the support of his coach. Like, let's see how good Trey looks with CMC behind him. Okay, before we start judging him.
The other thing about Purdy was a 4-year starter at Iowa State.
Yeah.
So he had more experience.
Russell, appreciate the super chat. Lance for Murray. The Niners wouldn't do that. The Cardinals wouldn't do that. Gannon would say no. Who says no? Gannon. Gannon says he took the job only because of Kyler Murray. So Gannon ain't getting rid of Kyler, unfortunately. I wish they would, but they're not getting rid of him. All right, George, anything else since we had you on hold? Do you have anything else you want to talk about before I jump off?
Yeah. One thing I wanted to talk about is I have a potential landing spot for that three trade, and I think it's going to be Tennessee. Tennessee's going to move up to 3, trade out with Arizona.
Yeah, they're definitely one of the ones we've suggested here. Tennessee or the Falcons, I think, are the 2 most likely candidates for this 3 pick.
Well, the Falcons named Ritter the starter, so I don't think it's going to be the Falcons. If you think about the Titans, they drafted Malik Willis in the 3rd round, so they don't really have much invested in him, and they need a quarterback. Tannehill's not the solution.
Yeah, I will say that the teams say a lot of stuff about their quarterback. So Ritter's probably the guy they want to roll with, but at the same time, you have Washington saying that Howell's the guy. He's going to be the guy. In the next minute, they're like, well, if someone beats him out, that's okay. Like they teams are all over the place. But the Falcons would be smart to go get the 3. Do they get it? I don't know. The Cardinals will probably trade this on the clock.
Here's the trade. Here's the trade. Hear me out. Tennessee trades Derrick Henry to Arizona for the number 3.
I don't think the Cardinals would do that. Derrick Henry's on his last leg, man.
They need a running back, though.
Yeah, but they can't. They're not winning this year. The Cardinals are thinking about the future. If it's Kyler out for half a year, there's zero concern about this year. That's why they're trading Hopkins away. So you're going to trade Hopkins away on
those old running backs.
Yeah, I don't think I could see another team doing it, but the Cardinals, they have no desire in building for the now. This is all about 2024 and beyond. And Derrick Henry. But I mean, I think the trade could be that it's just a move down. It's a move down from that 3 to the 11, and then they get like a future first rounder. Like that. That's something.
Swap and paste.
Yeah, this is something the Cardinals would do. But yeah, we'll see. They're definitely in play. Tennessee's definitely in play for that 3 pick. I think the Cardinals trade this on the clock because I think teams want to find out who goes 1-2, and then if it's Richardson, the quarterback you're getting at 3. So that'll be a little bit more valuable there. $10 holler from Russell, dropping a bunch of monster super chats tonight. Appreciate you doing that, Russell. Russell says, what does he say here? Gannon would say pew, 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 pew. I agree. Gannon loves him. And Russell also said that Trey didn't have Debo. Trey didn't have. I mean, he didn't have anybody firing on all cylinders. It was an unfair situation for Trey. Give him McCaffrey, see what he does. Let's. A lot of people think I'm hating on Trey because I'm saying that he's gonna bust. It's not me hating on Trey. It's me saying I don't think Shanahan's setting him up for failure. I think he's setting him up for failure. But yeah. I think Trey could definitely prove everybody wrong.
Easily win the division with 9 games. They can win the division with 9 games, 10 games. There's no one else in the division.
Trey was Seattle I think is going to do pretty well, but Trey could surprise everybody, and the opportunity should be there. But the fact that Darnold's already 50%, in competition with him for reps, I just think it's stupid. If Darnold wasn't in the picture. And this team had, really, Darnold shouldn't even be a risk at all. It's crazy. If Trey got the full backing of Shanny and they brought Darnold in, I'd be saying to everybody, have faith in Trey. With CMC, he's going to look phenomenal. But I just think that we don't even know if he's going to start. We don't even know if Trey. This is ridiculous. We don't even know if Trey Lance is going to start. How stupid is that? It's stupidity.
I honestly think it's some kind of mental game they're trying to play with Trey. I think that's what it is. He's so young,
bro. If it is, it's definitely not what you want to do with a guy that's already lost his job, a guy that's already come in and then you ripped him out. He won. He won against the Texans in a playoff implication scenario, and you rip him off from the lineup. You can't do that. It's stupid coaching. It's not. There's no benefit to this tough hardball. Hard nose. Okay, yeah, Purdy's our starter. They're not playing coy with that one. You know what I mean? They're not playing coy with, everybody's going to compete no matter what. They usually say that kind of thing, but no, they're like Brock's earned the job.
There's a new report that says that Purdy's going to be out till week 5. So
it depends. No, that's dependent on the 3-month check. After 3 months, they'll know if he's going to be back for week 1, pushing it. Or be out till week 4 or 5 based on that 3, because they won't know how it's going to respond for 3 months. So it's that whoever wrote that report, if they wrote it that way, they wrote it wrong. At 3 months, there'll be a checkpoint to know what the length of time is going to be. So and bro, he could go out and throw and just have a setback, and they got to go back in, because this is not something that happens every day for a quarterback. This is a very uncharted territory, and this guy's supposed to go. They didn't do a Tommy John. Tommy John, you could in 1 full year, you could technically have a stronger arm than before. But this is not Tommy John. This is like that. It's like a brace. It's essentially, to my knowledge, your UCL that goes all the way here. It's essentially just almost like you're patching a tire. I don't know. I don't know how. Yeah. I don't know this.
If I'm the GM, I'm rolling with Trey Lance. I got 3 years left on my contract, so the window's kind of short. I go with Trey Lance this year. If he doesn't make it, then next year we're going with Purdy or whoever's healthy. Because they only have 3 years left on their contract, both of them.
Yeah. Niner Rick, appreciate you. Niner Rick says thank you, Smitty, and everyone for the happy birthday wishes. Congrats on meeting Hurts. You should have called me up immediately on the phone line, or you should have recorded right in front of him and said, "The Fantasy Football Show, Jalen." What were you doing, Niner Rick? Appreciate you, Niner Rick. Okay, George, thank you for waiting patiently on hold. Please call back tomorrow.
Thanks,
and sorry you were waiting so long. Next time, interrupt. It's fine.
All right, thanks, man.
All right, later, man. Ron Navy, final thoughts.
Yeah, it was a fun conversation. But we've seen it before where quarterback will get injured, and the guy that comes in and the quarterback that gets injured never has a chance to take his job back because the replacement just well overperformed. Like it happened with Warner And then Warner experienced it when they drafted Eli Manning and the Giants, even though Warner was getting it done, and then Warner goes out to Arizona and takes over that job and goes to the Super Bowl. So I mean, you see it all the time. So we just gotta hope that Trey, because we were all big on Trey last year, and it was a real disappointment. Hopefully he gets to a spot where he gets a chance. He's never going to get a fair chance in San Francisco. That's a done deal.
Yep. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Ron, appreciate you. I got to go live on the Dynasty channel real quick. We'll do an ETN video. So, Ron, you can call back on that if you want, or if you can even want to put it. Yeah, call back. It'll be easier. Call back if you want. If not, no problem. Go live on the Dynasty channel right this very second. Dynasty channel is pinned in the YouTube live chat. It's also in the description of every video. It's also at the bottom of my main YouTube homepage. Whenever you're on my main YouTube homepage, just scroll all the way to the bottom and you'll see my 2 channels, okay? So going live on the Dynasty channel right now. Ron, I'll see you over there. Maybe not. Whatever works for you. Go now, guys.
All right. Later.
All right, later. Going now on the channel. So go to the links in the live chat. I'll even come back and post the link to the exact stream in this chat if you guys keep it open. So see you over there.